Hey guys, hope you're doing good. I'm back with another tutorial. We'll be discussing about variables and data types in this session. So I have opened the same Python which we have installed earlier in my previous video. If you haven't watched it, you just go to my description and I'll paste the link over there. You just go and watch my previous video so that you'll get some glance on how to install Python and run the simple program in Python. This is the project I have created, and this is the directory that we have created. So in the same directory, I'm going to create one more file, which is variable, and with the same extension dot py. Okay. So I'm just maximizing this window. So variables are basically, it's the most fundamental concepts in Python, and which is used to store the data into the memory. In simple terms, we can say variable is used to store the data. Actually, the data which we store into this variable will be stored into memory as well. And we can also say a variable acts like a container. Basically, we can say it's a reusable container. Let me write a variable in here. Name is equals to. I'm just adding double quotation marks, and inside that you can write some text. Okay, that's all. This is our variable, and we are storing Python into this variable called name. We can call it as name identifier, or if you want, you can also call it as label. So in this label, we are storing the Python. Let me comment this. I'm just writing age is my variable, and I'm writing 10. 10 is stored into the variable called age, and we can print it. Print age. Instead of printing directly 10 in here, we are just using the variable name over here, and we are going to print it. Since age is having the value 10, it will be printed as 10. Let me run it. And remember, if you ran your earlier program, you can see Hello World as my earlier program. I'm just highlighting it. Like you wanted to change it, just click on this down arrow and you can run the current file. And now you can see 10 and 10. Let me explain you how the program executes. So the program always starts from here. Like I'm just storing value 10 into the age, and I'm printing this 10. Instead of 10, let me print 13 or something. Interpreter will always ignore the comments, and it will start from here, the 10th line, and it will start executing. So the interpreter will convert these digits into some binary format. The binary format will be understandable by the computer. The direct language cannot be understandable by the computer. So this 10 will be converted into some binary digits. So you can say the binary digits are like 0 and 1. It's the power of 2. You can learn about it if you wanted to. It's just very a basic concept. So I'm just ignoring it. So let's take one more example. Age is equals to, I'm just assigning a value 30 over here. First, I'll execute this previous code. Age is 20 and number is 90. And you can see 20 and 90 were printed. Let me maximize it for you. 20 and 90 were printed onto this. You see, it's step by step it's processing. First, we'll assign value 20 to the age and then value 90 to the number. And this is commented, so it will ignore. And next, interpreter will come to the line number 9 and it will print age, the number. Assign one more age over here, which I'm just changing the value. Previously it is 20, now I'm making it to 30. So let's see what is the output. A shortcut to run the program, we just use the second one, variables. See, now it's 30 and 90. The previous one is ignored. Now the memory location is having the value 30 with the same variable name, age. Now let me talk about the data type. It's like we do have different types of data like integers, floating. We'll discuss about most basic data types, integers, floating, strings, and boolean. So I have used a multi-line comment here. If you wanted to comment multiple lines, you can use this. Let's talk about integers first. Integers are the whole numbers. For example, let's say a player. there are 9 players, but you cannot say 9.0 players or 9.7 players, right? So in this case, we'll be using an integer over here. For floating, we do have a decimal point. For example, let's say grades. For grades, if you have 9.5, you just say it's a CGPA like 9.5, right? Even though if it is 9, we can write it as 9.0, right? So in this case, floating point will be useful. And then coming to the strings. Strings is a combination of characters. So I'm going to write a name. We have used this name multiple times. You just have to open this double quotation mark and write anything in here, string. And if you wanted to use a single character, you can use single quotation marks. For Boolean, we do have only two states, which are true or false. So this is called, it's a Boolean expression. We do have either true or false. If programmers, if it is true, then we can write it as true, else we can make it as false. You have to be very careful while writing the code because Python is a case sensitive. If you write it as small letter, it will give you some error. So you just have to use only capital letter. Python is case sensitive anyhow. So I'll print all of this and I'll show you onto the terminal. Now you can see in the 22nd line, I'm just combining the strings along with the digit, which I have stored in the players variable. So I am just writing there are and the players. Players will be 20. There are 20 players. This is the output. I can also use placeholder. Placeholder is pretty much used by every programmer. So this is actually the placeholder where you can write your variable. Here I am just writing my variable as player. I can change my sentence. Okay, I have written the print statements for integers, floatings, and strings, and also boolean. All of these are having the placeholders. So let me run this program and here, since there is no placeholder, it is normal. If it is having any placeholder in the print statement, you can see the same placeholder in here as well. In similar way, we have used floating point, and here I have used floating point variable name, and here I have used strings variable name, and then followed by the boolean variable name. In the similar way, you can see the output. This is for floating point, strings, and you can see this is for boolean. That's all. I hope the variables and data types concept is clear. If you have any further questions or if you have any, if you're facing any exception while running the code, please do comment. I'll try to help. And I'll also post this .py file in the description. You can just go there and check it out. Thank you for sparing your time to understand this concept. Thanks a lot. I'll come back with the next video soon.